Hello. Today I am here by this rather pretty river. A very warm day, as you might be able to tell. And today I'm going to be talking with you about the Trecena of Kan. So, when I think about Kan, and what Kan represents, Kan the serpent, Kan representing the body lightning, the energy that runs through each and every one of us, that empowers us, that brings us the force of creativity, that brings us wisdom. That energy is an energy which is very powerful. It's a force of creation after all. And it can be used for whatever we choose to use it for. It can be used to create illusions. It can be used to share wisdom. Now, the energy doesn't really care which way it gets used. That's up to us, and that's also kind of like going to be the repercussions and the way that we choose to use that energy are going to be on us. And so we can either use it to try and hold on to our power by creating an illusion of what we might not be. We can also use it to share our wisdom with others, to empower them. And so the Nawal can be seen as the energy of the sorcerer. It can be seen as the energy of creativity, the spark of life itself. It can also be seen as the Nawal of teachers who share their wisdom in order to empower those around them. And so when we take this into the Trecena of Kan, what we can see is that this is a time of understanding how to use our power. We could think of it as a re-initiation of the power. We could think of it as a re-energization. Now, we've been following this cycle of Trecenas through. We've gone through the Kawok Trecena into the Ech Trecena. We've had these things moving around us so that we see, right, okay, we've cleared, we've been born, we've moved out, and now we're being energized. It's like for me, it's almost like the re-energization that helps us to move forwards in life. Kind of like we could almost think of like the can as being like the defibrillator that's restarting our heart and getting us moving, getting us going again. And so we see this energy coming towards us to help us to create, to help us to walk our path, to bring the new into the world, as these Trecenas have been showing us. And here we're being energized with it to do it. We may be being, let's say, given the wisdom or receiving the wisdom with which to do it and the energy with which to do it. So we're going to begin the Trecena with the day 1 Kan. 1 Kan, obviously the initiation of the energy. So it's a great day to be finding a new wisdom. Could be a good day to find a new teacher as well. It's a day when we could look to reinitiate who we are, what we do, receive the new energy, kind of like, okay, we could, often, every day is a good day for turning over a new leaf, isn't it? But it's kind of like almost like this rebooting kind of thing where we're getting this surge of energy come to us. Maybe it brings us a new understanding of what we have, a new wisdom about the power that we carry. Maybe it's an understanding of a new way to use the power that we carry. My observation is that when we work with energy, whether we're working with something like Ki or Tz'i or Reiki or Kundalini energy, every so often it's kind of like we hit this plateau and then we level up. This new wisdom comes to us. The more that we use our energy, the more that our channels open, the more that we receive wisdom from, kind of what's going on around us, or that's been my understanding of it. And so it's a great day to think of new ways that you can use your energy to understand the new wisdom that's coming towards you. From 1 Kan, we're then going to move into 2 Kame. So Kame, the Nawal of the ancestors, obviously this is a source of our wisdom. Obviously this can also be a source of our power. Maybe the power was passed on to us by our ancestors. We can think of the day 2 Kame also, sometimes a Kame is going to bring up the challenges, the things that frighten us. And here we have the number 2 representing polarities, representing, kind of like the two ends of the story, the two sides of the story. And so it presents things which are 1 or 0. It presents things which are in that kind of binary nature. With Kame, it could be very much like, right, okay, you're going to face this fear, you're going to duck away from it. It gives you the choice, but it's heads or tails. Are you going to go for it or are you not? And maybe this is some reason why you need this new wisdom. Maybe this is a reason why you need this new power or this re-empowerment to come into you. Because it's like, right, okay, where do I need to focus my energy? Where do I need to focus my wisdom? I have this fear that I need to overcome. And I know that with the number 2, it's either like, right, okay, am I gonna skip it or am I gonna go with it? Do I have the energy to face it now or not? So it's about making choices as to whether you're going to engage with the things that you fear or whether you're going to say, right, I don't quite have the energy right now, I'm going to wait for another day. Or maybe I don't feel that I have the enough wisdom to approach it in a satisfactory way. And so I'm going to kind of like skip over it. But it's up to you. It's your choice as to whether you wish to engage or whether you wish to disengage. But that fear may well come present. It may well sort of show itself to say, right, okay, what's your choice on this? Yes or no? You're going to go for it or not? Have you got the energy to do it or not? From 2 Kame, we're then going into 3 Kech. So Kech, the Nawal of the wilderness. Wow. The Nawal of the trees. The Nawal of the natural world. And here, combined with the number 3, representing the inner world, representing the heart, representing the home. Now, Kech is also a nawal of leadership. In particular, it's a nawal of spiritual leadership. And it's about doing your bit in your community to make sure you're supporting people, you're working with people and that kind of thing. You're helping people get through stuff. That's what we could see our spiritual leadership as being. And here we see it with the number 3. Well, the number 3, yes, sometimes it can represent challenges or obstructions. It's kind of like, it doesn't quite get out there. It doesn't quite function. And it's like, kind of like it stumbles along the way. Why? Because for me, the 3 is very much asking us to look within. It's about the inner world. It's about the home. Now, if Kech is trying to help us to engage with a spiritual teacher, for example, 3 Kech might be asking us to engage with the spiritual teacher within each one of us. We might find that we are having some trouble engaging with, kind of like those who, let's say, in a position where we think, are they a spiritual teacher? Is this the teacher that I've been searching for or something? And then the 3 comes along and sort of like just disrupts what we might feel from them and saying, hey, look inside, because that's where your teacher is. And I know that that's a bit of a cliche and that, but what are we in? We're in the Trecena of Kan, where we're refining our wisdom. We're finding the energy within us, helping us to understand and how to connect ourselves, our inner selves, with the wisdom of the natural world. From 3 Kech, we're then moving into 4 Anil. Anil, the Nawal of ripening, of the plant kingdom. Anil, the Nawal of yellowing, of receiving the fruits of our labour, of the ripened maize. And so it's seen as a very favourable day, and here we see it with the number 4, which is all about stability. It's all about bringing it down to earth. So the 4 is, we can think of it as a foundation. We can think of it as being the material realm of existence. And so this is really kind of like tending to the projects that you have going on in the material realm to help to bring them to ripeness. Now, we're in that Trecena of Kan. Could it be that we need to apply that new wisdom to the projects that we're working on, to the planting that we've got going on around us? I mean, for Anil would be an excellent day to actually really physically go and get your hands dirty in the garden, right? Because it's like digging into the earth and, kind of like planting your seeds in the physical realm. So certainly some practical physical aspect of that would be very, very useful to follow. We can also see it as being, kind of like grounding this maturity, making it real, not intangible, as it were. So it's like putting your wisdom and putting your power from the Kan Trecena into stabilizing your maturity, into stabilizing where you're taking it to. From 4 Anil, we then move into 5 Toch. So Toch, the Nawal of service. Toch, the Nawal of offering. Toch is here to help us to understand how we can work with our community. What do we have to offer? In this Trecena of Kan, we can offer our energy. And that number 5 representing work, that number 5 representing putting our energy into things. 5 Toch is a great day to be putting your energy into the things around you that need a bit of help. To volunteer where it might be required. To donate to where it might be required. To share that kind of energy as well. And this is something that, as usual, I'll be putting the links in the bio or in the blurb after this video for Odim and for the Popol High, so that if you feel that it's right for you, you can share some of your energy, some of your hard work, as it were, with them to balance it up, to give back for that fork and that stabilization of your, kind of like your golden abundance and all that kind of thing. Give a little bit back on 5 Toch. From 5 Toch, we're then moving into 6 Tz'i. So Tz'i, the Nawal of faith, of loyalty, of justice, of law, of unconditional love, the Nawal of the vices. And here we see it with the number 6. The number 6 representing the ultimate stability, that which is drawing on heaven and earth and manifesting it into the physical realm. But the number 6 can also be seen as representing family. And so when we see it as representing family, we can understand that this is a day about faith within the family. This is a day about justice within the family. This is also a day of maybe overcoming our vices in order to bring stability to our families. Once again, we see it occurring in the Trecena of Kan. It's about wisdom. It's about power in one way or another. And 6 Tz'i is asking us, right, okay, how can we use that power to bring stability to our family? To remember, kind of like to bring out the unconditional love there. How can we use it to help us to overcome our vices or the vices within the family so that we can bring that stability in? 6 Tz'i may well focus on that. It may well bring up temptations to ask, okay, have we stabilized from this? Have we now got, when we see the Trecena of Kan, we're thinking about the things which have power over us and the things that we have power over. And with this reinitiation, this rebooting, this re-empowerment, do we now have the power over our vices, or do they still have power over us? 6 Tz'i is a wonderful day to be bringing that into stability, bringing it into balance, and helping us to move through it, bringing out our trust. From 6 Tz'i, we then move into 7 Bats. So Bats, the Nawal of weaving, the Nawal of creativity. Bats, the Nawal which helps us with all of the arts, whatever we're working on. And here with the number 7, representing finishing, representing endings, representing death in some ways as well. It's ending our weaving, it's finishing our projects, it's finishing our kind of like our creative endeavors, whatever they might be. So, we start projects. Sometimes we have a timeline for them. Sometimes it's pretty open-ended. I'll do a bit more when I feel like it. Hey, I'll write a couple of pages today, or, I'll just add a little bit here, a little bit there, however it might be. 7 Bats is a great day to be getting it finished off. That's what you're here to do on 7 Bats. It is, finishing the final chapter. It is finishing editing that batch of photos or that video that you've been working on, or however it might be. It is whatever you are creating. The 7 Bats day is the day to round it off, to finish it up, so that you can take forwards in 20 days' time when we come through the day 1 Bats. That's when you're going to begin anew. So it's like, right, okay, we could look at that as, right, okay, you're down to your last 20 days before 1 Bats it comes in and you've got to start a new project. Or we could look at 7 Bats as being a great day to focus. You're hopefully watching this video on 13 Cat or 1 Can, and it's like, right, okay, you've got a bit of a countdown, and 7 Bats, complete your project, get it done for that time. Bats will come along and help you kind of like put the beauty into it, put the creative genius into it. And so it's sort of like finish with a final flurry on the day 7 Bats. From 7 bats we then move into 8 the nawal of the road, of the path, of the journey. The nawal that helps us to explore, that gives us that drive and that desire for exploration. And here we see it with the number 8 representing wholeness, the whole journey, the whole path. Now, the way that I see it, I mean, we could look at it as, is it our spiritual journey, our mental journey, our physical journey, or our emotional journey? Well, when we take one, don't the others already come along with us? Isn't every, physical journey that you take in some ways a material journey, an emotional journey, a spiritual journey, a mental journey as well? 8 helps us to see the connection, helps us to understand the wholeness of the journey, the wholeness of the exploration. Now we can also see, sometimes I think of the 8 as the cycle which takes us from the 1 of birth through the 7 of death and then back to the 1 of birth. And so it's the light and the dark, it's the up and the down, it's everything, it's all in one place. And it's understanding kind of like sometimes we're going to be climbing the hill and sometimes we're going to be descending the hill. Sometimes the journey might seem like a struggle and sometimes the journey might seem like, a wonderful ride. And it's understanding that the whole experience of the exploration comes, kind of like not just from walking in a beautiful river on a nice warm sunny day, but sometimes it's also, kind of like walking through the howling wind and, kind of like the cold times as well. That's what builds us. That's what strengthens us. That's what empowers us in this Trecena of Kan. It's understanding how to bring all of our experiences together as a whole from the journeys that we've taken. From 8 we're then going into 9 So here we have a very interesting combination going on, because we have which is a very masculine nawal. Which could be seen as the nawal of the father figure within the home, of the elder within the village. The leader, the staff of office. All about the harmony in our homes. And here we have it combined with the number 9, representing the feminine and representing life itself. So one way that we could look at it, having the strength and courage to bring harmony to life. That's a good way to look at it, because the also representing our spinal column makes us stand up straight and tall and do the right thing, say the right thing, be the right thing in order to bring our community and our home into harmony, to bring it to life. The other thing that we can see is that this could be very much representing the female leaders within our society, within our community, because we have the 9 representing the feminine and representing leadership. It's a great balance between a very masculine nawal and a very feminine number. And so we can see that this is, again, empowerment of female leaders. 9 is a wonderful day for that. It's, kind of like particularly time to focus on them, on feminine leadership. From 9 we're then moving into 10 Ish. So Ish, the nawal of Mother Earth herself. Ish, the nawal that connects us with the sacred places of the earth, the altars and the shrines. Ish, the one who helps us to understand how to connect ourselves with the spirit of Mother Earth. And here we see it with the number 10 representing community, representing society, and representing agreements. So when we see it like that, what we can realize is that it is about helping to, I would say, bring the magic into our community. Help to recognize the sacred within each other, as well as the sacred in ourselves. Because each of us is an altar, each of us is a shrine. And here, when we see it with the number 10, this is about community bonding. This is about coming together in agreement. When we recognize each other as sacred, surely that's something that happens. When we recognize that each and every one of us is a child of the spirit of Mother Earth, then that's what happens. And I think that that's where our magic comes out. And so 10 Ish is a great day to be getting together in celebration, to be getting together in ceremony, to be getting together at sacred spaces, at sacred sites, in order to remember our connection to Mother Earth as a community. From 10 Ish, we're then moving into 11 Tz'ikin. 11 Tz'ikin representing the bird energy, here combined with the number 11, which is a little bit unpredictable. Now, Tz'ikin can represent the visionary, and Tz'ikin has a great deal of focus, but Tz'ikin can also be distracted, rather like the crow that gets distracted by the shiny thing. And here, with the number 11, might represent a day of great distractions, because it's like the number 11 is going over here, over here, over here, over here, over here. We don't know quite where it's going next. And when we combine that with the ability to fly that the bird has, we're like, choo, 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 choo. Where are we going next? We're not sure. That's what 11 Tz'ikin brings in. Now, whilst this might sort of, kind of like the way that I'm talking about it, I hope that it doesn't come across as too negative, because one of the things about the 11 that I see is that it can be extremely highly creative. And it's extremely highly creative simply because it is going in the areas that we might not have seen before. It is following its intuition, its instinct, its drive and its impulse to go off the beaten track to find things that it hasn't found before. So when you combine that with Tz'ikin, who's kind of like on high, looking over everything else and picking up on where the shiny is and that kind of thing, you can imagine that the day 11 Tz'ikin may be a day of great distraction. And maybe that's what we need. Maybe it's not a day to be trying to focus on any one thing. Maybe it's a day to be guided very much by what your vision is picking up. Maybe it's a day to be guided very much by your impulses to go and have a look over there and go and have a look over there and go and have a look over there. Because getting off the beaten track is the only way to bring innovation into our lives. Tz'ikin is all about prosperity. It's about the prosperity of our family, the prosperity of our people. It's about the prosperity of the earth. It's about ensuring that everything is done sustainably. Now, we could say that what has been done already is not working. Maybe we need to go in and have a look in some other places in order to find what will work. And it won't, happen if we stay repeating the same cycle, if we stay repeating the same kind of like program, as it were, following the same path, because we've already walked that path and it didn't work. So we've got to go off into these impulses, into these areas, allowing ourselves perhaps on 11 Tz'ikin to be a little distracted, to follow what shines and glints out of the corner of our eye and go and check it out and see what's over there and see if we can bring that into our vision. From 11 Tz'ikin, we then move into 12 Ajmak. So 12, the number of life experiences, and Ajmak representing forgiveness and pardon. And this is, again, you can understand, this is a very kind of like a day for clearing house, right? This is a day to look through our life experiences, where we've gone, what we've done in the past, and, say sorry, ask for forgiveness for them. There are times when we, sometimes it was okay at the time, but it's not okay now, and we realise that it's not okay now, and it probably wasn't really okay at the time, but we did it anyway because everybody else was doing it. Now maybe we need to kind of like make amends for it. We can also see it, that 12 as representing, let's say, sometimes it can be the baggage that we carry. Sometimes it's not about asking for forgiveness. It's about forgiving. It's about forgiving things that have happened in our life, because we're in this Trecena of wisdom. We're in this Trecena of re-empowerment. And how can we be empowered, and how can we come to this wisdom if we're still hanging on to a grudge from 20 years ago or something like that? We've got to let it go. So 12, Ajmak, may ask us to revisit our life experience so that we can forgive, so that we can let go, so that we can become empowered, and so that we can move on. And then finally, to finish off the Trecena of Kan, we end with the Nawal 13, Noch. So Noch, the Nawal of intellect, the Nawal of knowledge, the Nawal of understanding and of problem solving. And here, combined with the number 13, representing the ancestors, representing the in the spirit. This is a day of ancestral knowledge. This is a day of the knowledge that comes from spirit. And what a day to finish this Trecena of wisdom, as it were, with, kind of like the study of ancestral knowledge. So, it's a great day to delve into the books, to delve into the videos, to delve into connecting with the ancestors, maybe connecting with them through, a medium, maybe connecting with them through an elder, maybe connecting with them through a sacred site, however you choose to do it. But it's a great day for connecting with that ancestral understanding. It's a great day for connecting with the ancient knowledge and understanding how this can empower, those around us, and understanding how this can help to bring the wisdom to the world. So I hope that was interesting for you, and I look forward to seeing you in 13 days' time for the Trecena of Kan. Thank you.